All right, what's up? So let's chat about this weekend. Had a regional this weekend, and we were able to pull out the win for title number 5. So let's talk a little bit about the bowling balls and the things that I used, the ways we played the lanes, and all that good jazz. So let me flip this around, and I'll show you the bowling balls that we actually took to the tournament. Maybe not took to the tournament, but I'll show you the 3 main balls that I used that really got me through match play here. All right, so I got them lined up over here, but first, let's take a look at that bad boy. How do you like that? That's what we like to see. That's good stuff right there. Goes with the collection of other stuff. Oh yeah, my leading the U.S. Open. Bet most people didn't know I had that, but that's okay. It's all good. Now we come over here. We got some bowling balls that actually did the trick. Now this weekend was a Storm 900 Global type of weekend. We got the Dark Code, which is the 45 by 4.5 by 45. And we've got the Zen, which is the same layout. Then we've got the RST X2, which is basically the same layout, but we kicked the mass bias out just a little bit more to give it just a little bit earlier ball reaction, so that way we could kind of get it to not be so flippy down lane. And then I actually hit the surface on it as well. I took it down, I hit it lightly with a 2000 pad in my hand to get it to pick up just a little bit earlier, to be different enough, because I think basically the Dark Code and the RSTX2 were basically the same layout, very, very, very close. But the Dark Code was a little smoother, a little cleaner. I needed something a little bit stronger, so I had that. And then when I needed something to read the middle of the lane just a pinch stronger, I had the Zen. So there was a few different options that I had there that really came into play for me. Yeah, so we in qualifying, we actually the lanes played a little bit tighter to the right, so we ended up getting further left than expected. And it just it got to the point where you're left lofting over the cap, but you couldn't, it cliffed. So if you threw it right early, it overhooked. If you got it in, it kind of never hooked. It was just kind of one of those things. So I bowled 160 over and qualified 7th. The top 4 got a bye, and I did not. So I had to bowl the first match against Kyle Bigelow, and started with, I believe I started with the Zen, and then for the first 2 frames, and then I don't remember. I think I started with the Dark Code, and then I switched to the Zen. It was one way or the other. But it was a back and forth match, and it was a tough match because I ended up winning that one like 630 to 610 or 620 or something like that. And it came down to the 10th, or the 9th and 10th again. Yawn. Sorry. But tough match, and there was a spot, I think you could go back and watch the live video, I stoned 7-9. It was just nasty. It was sick, just disgusting, very disgraceful. And it didn't like me at all. But I ended up pulling it out, and ended up winning that match. Moving on to bowl Dave Wodka. And I started with the RSTX2 against Dave. That's the one that I surfaced up a little bit and was able to get... I both started with front 5, ended up bowling 250 that game to his 230. So he bowled a good game too. So it's 250, 230. And then I only bowled 204 to get the plus 58 after 2. And he ended up bowling 220. So he was plus 59. So I was down a pin going into the last game. I switched the Dark Code at the end of that game. And I ended up front 9 for the 3rd game. And once I had the front 9, I had him shut out because he had 258 max. So, and I had 260 even with a hole. So I bowl 730. Dang it. Oh, shoot. Ooh, I bowl 730 to his 720-ish. And moved on to the semifinals against Bailey Maverick. Or Maverick Bailey, one of those, something like that. And he's great. He throws it great. Real local kid. Throws it really well. Lots of revolutions, very high ball speed, and throws pins everywhere. Like, it's pretty sick to watch. But I crossed with him as well, and he bowled pretty good in qualifying. He ended up one of the top 4 that got a bye. So he bowled really well all week. Unfortunately, he just ran into me, and I bowled 470. He bowled 450. It was still a good match, close match. And he used a reality for most of that match. So he was using a lot of surface, and he used it again. He was using that in qualifying as well. Well, I was using a combination of the Dart Code again. Dart Code and I think the RSTX2 I started with. So won that one, moved on to bowl Steve in the final, Steve Novak, who I am bowling doubles with next weekend in the non-member doubles in New Pennsylvania. And he bowled 390 to my 450. My look was just a little better. He said he was getting a little gassed, so he wasn't making great shots. But you know, lots of mistakes there in that last title match between us both. We both threw a couple of shots that were just out the window, and we just dead whipped it to the right. You know, so. But it was fun. It was a good tournament. Got title number 5, so that was pretty cool. Now I'm gonna actually have my one of my banners remade, and I'm gonna put it up here in the shop, up next to the trophies and all that stuff. That was what Greg wanted me to do. So I dedicated that win to Greg. Because he ended up in the hospital, like I said. He is doing okay, for those who are wondering. He's doing all right. It didn't end up being a stroke, so that's good. Just some other stuff going on, and he's still in the hospital getting all checked out. Some kind of an infection that they're working on, getting it all cleaned up, but he'll be good to go back out on the bowling lanes here pretty soon, back in the shop. So you guys get to see him real soon, hopefully. So anyway, that's all I got for you. I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown, show you the balls and all that stuff, show the trophy. But I'm out of here. We will see you guys for whenever I do this again. See you later.